Okay, so here's
I'll
some
use my family's
quick
name
and
when
dirty
I'm no longer
movement
Shiv.
tech thing that I have not seen anyone else mention so far, even in the advanced movement tutorials, which I thought was kind of weird. So I've been messing around with this tech for a while, figuring out if it's actually useful or not. I think it is, so here you go. Some more tools for your toolbox. Uh, the basis of this idea is that a regular dash gets you about 20 meters and you cannot jump afterwards, which is really frustrating for anyone who wants to combo movement into each other, right? And this is just base character stuff. So if I'm a base character and I want to execute an idea, I don't want to have to buy an item just to execute it, right? So the main idea here is I want to be able to jump after the dash, right? A dash slide, because that can, that flows really well. Anyway, here it is. I call it the grounded air dash. Pending names include wave dash or just the GAD for grounded air dash, right? But it basically works like this. Air dashes usually kind of suck if you do them on the ground. Even if you time them really, really close off the ground, they look like shit. But if you intentionally time them so that you press the shift and the spacebar key at the same time, you carry a lot of momentum into the dash, which makes it equivalent to a dash slide, at least on flat ground, right? So what happens? But since you're allowed to jump after this, right? It means you can extend your ground dash by up to 10 meters extra. I find that's useful when you're, you know, traversing between lanes and you don't like, yeah, I guess you don't have kinetic dash and you don't want to double dash because you want to be able to be ready for any surprise encounters, right? Cool things about about this trick, it's basically just the ground dash where you can jump. So first of all, anything you can do during an air dash, you can do during a grounded air dash. So I can shoot, I can punch, good for last hitting minions. I can charge up a heavy melee, although there are better ways to do that. I can parry, uh, just a little bit after the parry start. After the air dash starts, you can parry. So this can make for some good minion parries in lane, of course. Right. I tend to think that yeah, I could do a dash cancel with the crouch, but that's like 3 buttons. Whereas with the regular grounded air dash parry, it travels further, the parry itself, and it's like just 2 buttons in my head, right? The other thing that you can do is, turn during the dash to carry momentum through a turn, like sort of like this. Um, that's really good. I'm not sure if it's completely better than other things, but I find it useful. Now, the other thing that you can do is you can carry momentum into a heavy punch, which means that during the charge up time for the heavy melee, you are charging up, you are moving. So that makes it a lot safer to hit the heavy melee. And yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Now, other things. The parry thing happens, can move up slopes for some reason. That's, I mean, that's kind of cool. You can bunny hop up slopes and carry the dash momentum through, which is really nice because I think the only way you can currently do this is by dash jumping. Now, that's really nice. The other thing is you can line up wall jumps really nicely. So the fact that you can look at a wall, slam into it, and do all that, like it's pretty easy to hit a wall jump now. You don't have to line it up anymore. So yeah, I can just look at a wall, pretend like I want to go into it. I can even change my mind and go away from the wall. I don't know. I find that pretty useful. So that's just one grounded air dash. What happens if we do two? Now you might be asking, how do you do two grounded air dashes? Well, my dear friend, because you're technically what's happening is you're bunny hopping off the ground. When you do a second one, you can do more air dashes on the ground than in the air. Right, an interesting thing about air dashes generally, right, is that if you're moving in one direction, you go faster moving diagonally, air dashing diagonally, than you would if you were air dashing straight. So if I air dash straight, it's like somewhat fast, but if I air dash diagonally, you can notice it's like a decent bit faster, right? Like I I didn't even air dash that, but yeah, it's a decent bit faster for some reason. I don't really know. So what that means is that if I do a regular dash jump, I go around 50 meters, and you would expect that 2 air dashes in a row wouldn't really get you that far, right? It gets you about this far. But if you angle them, you go like a decent bit further. Now, the great thing about this is that you can curve around corners without really, like, it's pretty easy to get around corners really tight. Yeah, there I even cut the corner too close, right? Because I couldn't see it. But like, this is really useful when you're in small corridors and you want to aim the next air dash around a corner, or even through an opening in a door. And I have plenty of examples where I've done this to get away from people, especially as pocket, where like you need to be a sneaky little fucking rat. Yeah, I think that's all. The other thing to note is that even if you're in the air and you're doing some other move, you can grounded air dash in a diagonal direction to carry the momentum through, and then potentially combo even to more things. So like, if I say did this, if I was any better at it, I'd be able to say jump, think this, and then like do whatever the fuck that was terrible, but this is a dirty video, so I don't really care. Now, for some more broken stuff, if you get the superior stamina item, all of a sudden this becomes basically superior to any of the basic modes of moving. So this gives you more air jump distance and air dash distance and air jump distance, right? So now a single dash slide will give you about 20 meters. A grounded air dash with superior stamina will take you about the same distance as a dash jump. So that's a little funny. That's a little goofy. Now, what happens if we add the double air jump, right, to this? Yeah, you gain some insane momentum. Not the most momentum I've ever seen, but like for someone from a grounded state, you get like, you turn into a Mach 1 like racer. And the most messed up part about this is that you can do this around corners, and you carry like most of the momentum through, right? So like, that's not fair. Frankly speaking, that's ridiculous. So I thought I'd mention that. I've been trying to build this more, but it's really hard to pull this sort of stuff in game, especially with so little practice with it, that I've been kind of into my games, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, high MMR OCE, not exactly the easiest thing to do, but anyway, I thought that was useful. If you get good enough at this sort of stuff, you can even like bunny hop upstairs backwards. It's pretty fun once you get used to it. I find myself like going for minions in the distance that I wouldn't usually be able to go for punches on, and then like even things like dash parrying the guardian, like stuff like that, I only need 1 stamina for. So it's just like the amount of stamina you save using this tech, kind of insane. Now for some character specific tech. There's only 2 I really want to touch on. I don't have time to like lab every single hero, but I've noticed that with Paradox, for example, notice the dash speeds and the air dash speeds on the bottom left. So if I do that again, when the Connect Carbine is fully charged, right, you get 22 meters dash speed, which is almost the same as superior stamina, which means that when you land a double air dash, you go like pretty far. Not that far, I think. I think a lot of it has to do with the dash distance as well, and how that's calculated. But yeah, at least the initial 2 dashes will be like really fast, right? The other thing is that for some reason when you grounded air dash while holding the right click, you dash but then stop, and then like without even letting go of right click, you land on the ground again, which gives you this extra like start, which means like I can jump afterwards and then shoot someone in the face, which I don't know what anyone could do with that, but it looks cool. and I thought I'd just mention it. Now, Shiv probably benefits the most from this tech because everyone knows this shitty gun can give you momentum. It's like Deadlock's it's Deadlock's. I hate this. I hate this hero, by the way. Deadlock's most broken hero, in my opinion, just fundamentally now just has a free momentum start for his like shotgun combos, which is stupid because if you're good enough, you can make this last forever. I'm not good enough at it because I can't be fucked to learn the guy. Because I don't want to learn it because I hate it. But yeah, you basically dash in one, shoot the gun in the other, and you can see by my keys what exactly I'm doing. It's really stupid. Plus, like, all the rest of this stuff, like the bunny hop backwards, like, he just gets for free. So, he doesn't even need to think really about technique there. You can do a bunch of stuff, like, I don't know, do this, jump up, do this, jump up into a, back into air dash slide. I don't know, but it makes him so much more, like, it makes his movements feel so much, like, more logical. Go crazy with that. Now, I think that's it. I think that's all that I have to say, and I'm not sure how long this video is, but I really hope it isn't over like 10 minutes. So anyway, that's gonna be all. Go crazy with it. I have a bunch of examples on the map, but I mean, like, if you want that, I can post that. But yeah, go crazy.